roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the.
Good evening. We are live, and there's an awful lot of comments been going on. Let's jump onto the comments. So, Lanky's been stealing my thunder again. Stealing my thunder, haven't you, Lanky? The one that Lanky hasn't mentioned in the comments is Rocco Vata. Rocco Vata is about to be sold by Celtic, and a significant bid has come in for a European club. We all know that's from Italy. But I think it might be Club Brugge, so we'll wait and see which one it is. I'm sure it's Torino, because Torino have been after Rocco Vata for a long time. So, where is he? Has he disappeared at the door now that he stole my thunder? Anyway, I'm going to say hello everyone, but there's that many comments. I'm going to go right back to the beginning, because first in the door was Anthony Dalmore. Peter Lawwell will be on BBC One tomorrow. It's called Bargain Hunt. Hail, hail, God bless Celtic family. Hello, everyone else that is in the house. Of Helen, Lanky, Lovett, Lorna, Derek, and I see that you've been going through lots of stuff. There's 135 people online already. Make sure you get a thumbs up. There is only 30 thumbs up, which is ridiculous for the amount of people that is online. Bringing a load of new wingers. Hail from Germany. I hate that Rocco Vata is gone. I think the fact that little Lanky is looking for you pass right hand man. Yeah, he is. And he can come and join the channel anytime he wants if he wants to come on and do a live, but I think he prefers to hide his coupon. I don't bother because nobody's going to see me walking down the street, especially from Scotland, where I stay. Anyway, all right, Baz, hail, says Ian Fleming. At Lanky, me and Baz are going to be the new board. Yes, that'd be fantastic. As long as I didn't get as fat as Lawwell, that'd be fine. Michael Boy says, hail. Right. First of all, I want to talk about the Champions League draw tomorrow. I have set up a live for Lanky. It is your birthday tomorrow. I haven't forgotten. So make sure that you are on. We think he's away to, talking about Rocco, we think he's away to Italy. He's been linked with a move to Torino all summer, and I think he's finally got through. Right. Lanky, we are going live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Celtic Park time. That is when the draw is for the Champions League. And obviously there'll be the sort of ceremony stuff to get out of the way beforehand. We will go live right at the start of it so we don't miss anything out. It's tomorrow afternoon. 32 teams, 26 automatic qualifiers. Yes, Celtic were one of the 26 that automatically qualified for the Champions League this season. And I'll go through the teams that have already qualified. They're Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, Newcastle United, Atletico Bilbao, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, and Seville. Bayern Munich, Sevilla, I better say it right. Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Leipzig, Union Berlin, Inter Milan, Lazio, Milan, and Napoli, Lens, Paris Saint-Germain, Benfica, Prague, Porto, Feyenoord, Salzburg, Celtic, a team for Serbia, and then Young Boys, and then Galatasaray and Shakhtar Donetsk have all qualified so far. There is a certain matter of a couple of teams to be playing tonight. Hopefully, a team for Holland will get through, if you know what I'm saying. How does the group stage work? There's 32 teams split into 4-seeded pots. Pot 1 will consist of the UEFA Champions League winners and the Europa winners. They're going to pot 1. Pots 2 to 4 will be determined with the coefficient club rankings. Now, unfortunately, if Sevco do get through, their coefficient rankings is higher than Celtic, so they'll go into pot 3. But anyway, we won't be able to get them in the group stages anyway. No team can play aside from their own association in the group stages. That is in. So that's all about tomorrow night. That will go live. We will be doing that live. Don't forget PSV later. That's why I'm doing Ian, that's why we're doing this now, because I know there will be a lot of people who want to watch that just for the whole shits and giggles. Anyone's seen the fella for young buys? Right, let's talk about the ones that's potentially coming in, and it looks like Nat Phillips is going to come in from Liverpool. Looks like we've actually hijacked the deal. It looks like he was actually on his way to Leeds. He was on his way to Leeds, but Celtic have hijacked that deal because obviously Brendan knows him. He is a defender. You know, if we can get him in on loan, it's ideal for us. We'll have also been linked with, well, it looks like the Benfica one. That is also looking like a done deal. Paulo Bernardo. It looks like we're going to get him in. Rocco Vata, he is leaving the building. It looks like he's going to Torino. And the sort of one that has been spoke about this afternoon is the Nat Phillips one, but I think we're actually going to get that one in because I think we'll manage to get a loan for that. There's no way we're going to pay any kind of money for him. We were linked with a guy from Leicester, but you know, I think that the fact that Leicester went through what they went through last season, I don't think it'd be a good choice. This guy is about fifth. Nat Phillips is about fifth in line to get a game at Liverpool. He's that far at the sort of first choice that it makes sense. It makes sense to loan him out to Liverpool. There's no chance that we're going to pay 10 million for him. That is sure. But if we can get him played in the Champions League, you know, are they panic signings? It's I think Phillips is, John's right. Phillips is a monster in there, and he worked with Brendan obviously before. And let's face it, loan deals. Here we go. Are they any good? Said Joseph. Just wait till you see who comes in. Joseph. Because I'm actually quite positive about the game now, especially on Sunday, because I think we're going to bring players in that are going to be first team ready. It is going to be a bit difficult coming in, but it's a game of football. You know, I think if we can get them all in tomorrow and before Friday, that's when it all matters. If we can get them at least one training session on the pitch, and then it depends for there. Who do we drop out? I suggested Liam Scales. If we do get this guy in, it looks like Scales. See get a game with Spurs. Cameron Carter-Vickers was loaned out about 6 times before he came to Celtic. And then we took him on loan, and what a fantastic signing he's been. I'll take panic signings if they're quality. Of course, the panic signings deadline day should be for Deadwood. Business should have been done. Alan, I said that in this morning's video, this morning's live. I believe, there were people coming on this morning saying that the best deals are done late in the day. No, they're not. The best deals are all done way before, and it is basically players that are needing moved out of the club. Look at us, we're moving players out of the club this week, and you know, I would play Scales at left back, says Kevin. Let's face it, we all know we all know nothing. But Nat Phillips looks like it's one that's going to happen. Rocco Vata, that's definitely going to happen. Paulo Bernardo, that's definitely going to happen. And Lewis, he is in the building. He's done his medical anyway, and he is definitely on his way into Celtic. Let's see if we can get any other Celtic news. Just see. So Leeds are now holding internal talks. Now, this is an interesting one because Leeds have been sniffing about Matt O'Reilly, and this story doesn't want to go away. Let me just read this. They still want to put another bid in. I'm expecting a late bid for Matt O'Reilly. Celtic have already rejected a bid from Leeds, and have already rejected a bid from Bologna, from Italy, for Matt O'Reilly also. So it could be interesting. We cannot sell Matt O'Reilly. There's one player. People have said on the live before, sell him. He's whatever. He's just a young guy. Paulo Bernardo and Sunway. It's maybe just the thing Taylor needs. I think Taylor does need a bit of competition. Nah, he won't go to Leeds. Baz, could you not buy... What was that? Could you not buy Celtic and get a player? I couldn't afford Celtic. What do you think I do for a living? Jesus. Anyway, I couldn't even buy a quarter of Desmond shares. Anyway, right, let's move on. Liam and Noel both follow Celtic. Liam Gallagher has always been a Celtic fan. Right. The Rocco Vata one is the most interesting one because obviously he didn't want to sign a new deal. And Celtic have kind of been biding their time. It looks like there has been. Torino have been sniffing about him all summer. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that he didn't want to sign a new deal because he thinks he can go somewhere else and play somewhere else and get into the first team. Club Bruges have been interested in him also, but I think he's probably going to go to Italy. These players seem to get a better chance in Italy. Younger players seem to get a better chance in Italy. O'Reilly goes, it must be big money. Nobody bigger than a club. The secret money fit under the bed. You can't hide money in Spain anymore, unfortunately. I wonder what it was for Vata. They're saying it's 6 figures for Vata, so it's in the hundreds of thousands. I'm expecting it to be in the 500,000 region. It was rumoured that, by the way, yeah, that's one that I didn't speak about. Love it. Abada has already signed a new contract also. I did see that earlier. Where did the page? See, you've got that many pages open. Yeah, I did hear that earlier that Rocco Vata, Lil Abada is on the brink of a new deal, which is fantastic if he signs a new deal and massive wages. Do you know, it all comes down to the fact that he wasn't getting played last season. And if you ask me, you know, there's obviously been some kind of bad blood with some of the players last season with the manager. You've got to remember the manager was hardly on the training pitch. Cross Hill, Fife's in the house. You've got to remember the manager the last couple of seasons wasn't on the training pitch as much. He was on record as saying that he puts a lot of the onus on John Kennedy. He says John Kennedy takes the training sessions. John Kennedy plans the training sessions. He says, I go in once a week and I watch them train. I try to keep as far back away from the players as possible. Matt O'Reilly came out at the beginning of the summer and said that things were fantastic now that they had a new manager. It's like a breath of fresh air. And now the fact that Abada is on the verge of signing a brand new contract also tends to suggest that some of the players weren't too enamoured with the way that they were treated. Maybe thought that some of the Asian guys were given a better treatment. Hail buyers, Rocco Vata, got managers, Brendan Rodgers, buyers, these things give us hope. Yes, these new signings that come in do give us hope, and it's fingers off the panic button. Fingers off the panic button. As I say, I did do that in a bit of jest this morning, saying, is it a case that Celtic are pressing the panic button going this late into the transfer window? I can understand maybe 1 or 2 signings this late, but you have to think about it. We have brought in 2 defenders, and we brought in 2 defenders this year during the summer, and we're actually worse off for defenders. You couldn't actually make it up. Couldn't make it up. And another bit of good news, the Spurs got beat last night. They got put out of the cup on penalties. That's all I'm going to say. All this love that goes on for that club, and Spurs get put out of the cup. The earliest they've been put out of the cup since 2005, may it be said. So yeah, it's about time we started getting stuff done. Yes, it is brilliant that we're starting to get stuff done. I'm really looking forward to the Champions League draw tomorrow. That does go live at 6 p.m. Central European time, so it'll be 5 p.m. Celtic Park time. Ali, ha ha ha, and lol, who exactly? It's just the only reason I say that, Ali, is there has been a lot of people trying to remind us of what we're probably missing, and there's no news in our keeper as yet. What stream the TV stations for the Champions League drawing tonight in UK? It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow night, 6 p.m. tomorrow, Central European time, 5 o'clock. Celtic Park. Do you want me to get the TV station? I don't know if it will tell me on this actually. No, on this. I'm on the UEFA.com. No. I'm sure it's on live on BT. Now no one's panicking, it seems. Who was in goal for Spurs? I have no idea. Who cares? Big Fraser. Was it? Was it Fraser Foster? It was not. Surely not. That would be absolutely hilarious. Scales took one. Scales will be kept until January. Now as cover, I think Scales will be kept, but he might find his game time. You never know. There might be a last minute. Nah, Aberdeen have already brought someone in. The Grampian boys are in the house, and you know what's been funny on Twitter today? A few of the lads that I know are away over to PSV. Travelled over yesterday, and they look as if they're enjoying themselves. Look as if they're enjoying themselves. Taylor needs his position challenged. Yep. I would take Fraser Foster back. I wouldn't take Fraser Foster back. Yes, pot 4 confirmed. Yep, pot 4 is confirmed. The other mob from across the city, if they manage the impossible tonight, they'll be in pot 3 because their coefficient rankings is more than us. So I'll go through the teams again because let's face it, there's some funky teams in there, and I think the only one that we can get is Newcastle and Union Berlin. I think they're in pot 4 as well. But the teams are Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, Newcastle, Atletico, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, Sevilla, Bayern, Dortmund, Leipzig, Union Berlin, Inter, Lazio, Milan, Napoli, Lens, Paris, Saint-Germain, Benfica, Braga, Porto, Feyenoord, Salzburg, Celtic, Krasnodar, Young Boys, Galatasaray, and Shakhtar Donetsk. There's no easy games. There's no easy games with that at all. But you've got to be in it. You've got to be in it. I fancy our chances a bit better than last year, because I think we'll be a bit more. No way would I want Fraser Foster and Nani there. I think we should be a bit more organised this year. I think the all-out attacking style was good to watch, but the all-out attacking, Mark, what have you missed this evening? You've missed Rocco Vata is going for around about 500,000, I reckon. Paulo Bernardo, he is on his way from Benfica. Nat Phillips looks like he could be on his way, and Leeds are still trying to get one of our players. Leila Bada is also about to sign a new contract. Yeah, 7-0 against Barcelona. That can never be allowed to happen again. Liam Scales might prove so-called good players coming in. Scales better staying. Scales isn't going to go to Aberdeen now. They've brought in a couple of players that will fill that position. Not on a plane, and like the zombies who are stranded. Yes. That's funny as anything. It was one of the best. This was one of the best texts I got this morning. You missed Lanky starting his own Celtic podcast. Yeah, Lanky came on about 10 minutes before the live started and just went through everybody and told everybody what was going to happen on the show tonight. He likes stealing my thunder, does Lanky. And then he buggers off saying, "Oh, sorry, I need to jump over to that other streaming platform. I'm away to stream." Anyway, I'm buzzing for the Nat Phillips deal. The man has experience, physicality that Celtic need. This is true. This is true. Let's get some of the banners up, actually. We'll play this just for a minute. We'll do that, and some banners. Noticed, and that's a ticker. Go for that one. Back to that, and kill the music. There we go. A little bit of Papa Francesco for you. From the good old Celtic fans when they were in Italy. Will we get another game in Italy? That is the question. That is the big question. It'll all come out in the wash, as they say, tomorrow evening. Lanky, no my fault. I hear things before you. No, you didn't. You were online before me. Do you know what? And anyway, if you fast, you're last. That's true. And listen, I don't. It's all a community in here. You know what I mean? This isn't my domain. I mean, I might run the channel, but I mean, it's a big community. There's one Celtic fan's view, and everybody's got their view. But the one that he did miss out on was Rocco Vata. So he missed that one out. Let's see if there's any other breaking news tonight. I'm not expecting too much more news tonight. Obviously, Leeds are now holding internal talks to try and sign Matt O'Reilly. That's the big one. If we lose Matt O'Reilly, Celtic have kicked out a bid for. Is that another bid? Is that another bid? Have they put in a bid in today? Are they going to try? Nah, that's the same bid, isn't it? Let me just ask him. Nah, it's just. I think it is the same bid. Messages. Good thing is I've got WhatsApp on the laptop now as well. Exclusive. Leila Badass has signed mega contract and the champions a boost. How important is it that we retain a Bada? How important is it? Lanky's the new Anthony Joseph. Yeah. Nat Phillips. Has Nat Phillips been confirmed? It's as good as confirmed. We're in advanced talks, and it looks the fact that he's about fifth, not a chance of getting a game, and it looks like we're going to. Matt O'Reilly will stay for the Champions League. Yes, all around the world, Baz. Glad I missed the start now. All around the world. Right, let's get in the comments where everyone's from tonight on the plane. And the first one to say Glasgow Airport watching the zombies cry. Well, when I watch, you can't be. Now they'll all have left. They'll all have went home, but we must keep a banner. Yep. It's Palmer, the guy actually in Glasgow. I know that he was in London and he'd had his medical. He's probably driving up because there's not a lot of flights, I understand, going on in the UK because air traffic control in the UK is a bit of a shit show. Been spot on when comings and outgoings for the past 3 years. I can't help it. I've been pretty spot on for about the last 10 years, but most of mine was done on Twitter before I started up this channel. Hail, hail for Falkirk. Sunny Airs in the house. Gates Heads in the house. London's in the house. Livingston's in the house. Hamburg is in the house. Clydebank. Maryhill is in the house. London, St Ninians and Stirling. None of the Spanish boys on. Dundee is in the house. Gibraltar is in the house. O'Reilly must stay. Coatbridge is in the house. Point. Hamilton. Perth, Australia. Brilliant. Brilliant. How is it in Australia just now? Ayrshire, Grampian boys are in the house. Greenwich, London. How's it done in London? How's it done in London? St Andrews, fantastic part of the world. The Gannard. Law. Yesterday put the 3 bids in for the Danish guy and then pulled out. Why? We wouldn't pay the money and the add-ons. It was the add-ons that pulled the deal, I heard, and Rodgers wanted experience, and we don't really need a younger striker. And I think there was a bit of behind the scenes going on with Celtic, and especially Lawwell, his son, and Rodgers. But anyway, they seem to all sorted it out. Rodgers is getting some of the experience that he wanted. Redding's in the house, just from Straighton, and London and Scotland and Spain. Yep, I feel better now than earlier. Keep the faith from Rutherglen. Was Lanky asking? Logelli's in the house. Logelli's in the house. Abada and O'Reilly are young guys with good stats at Celtic. That's young ones. You have to remember that fourth near Lanark. I've been there before. Linwood near Paul the Tim. Currently on the way back from Blair Drummond Safari Park. The signals. The Pans. Alan Muller for Kelty. That's a fantastic part of the world as well. Glasgow East, Doric County, Kelty, the Pans, Lurgan. Fantastic. I love it. I love seeing where everyone's from on this channel. Right. So Leila Bada, that's a big one for me. I mean, he's only 21-year-old. And then if you remember, I don't know how many years have went. There's not been many people watched the live that we did the other morning. But when we're talking about is Linwood not in Paisley, it's just outside. It's just outside Paisley. the conversation that we had on the live the other morning about the age of this current team and the age of some of the players that came through Celtic over the years. When we looked at the Martin O'Neill team in 2003, the average age of his team was 29, but he had about 6 or 7 players that were coming through the team that were about 18, 19. And they were all Scottish born, and they were all Scottish players that went on to have fantastic careers. Anstrel is in the house. Brendan Rodgers, his first time round, the average age of his team was about 25, 26. And he had a certain player that was a fantastic striker for us that we sold for a lot of money who went on. I mean, Edouard was only 19 at the time. Edouard was only 19 when he came to Celtic. So you have to think about it. You know, we've got these players in. I don't comment much on your channel, but keep up the good work. I live in Parkhead. Go on yourself. Robert, get in there. Thank you for commenting. Keep it up. Keep it up, especially on the lives anyway. Girvan boys are in the house. Faz Phillips. Is Phillips any good? Yeah, he's a bit of a big tank. It's a bit of a big tank from what I've been reading. I know Tim in the Midlands, says Stuart Lanky. Where's my East End troops? He's coming in to try and steal you. Anyway, Lanky, what other platform is it you're away to stream on? You mad gamer. Michael Ross was just thinking that. I think Palmer will play some part on Saturday. Yes, I think it is. If Andrew's still here, Abada would have been, Abada would have been gone. Rodgers has got a big part to play with that. I got the game on Saturday, the first time in 15 years. They've gone to the game on Saturday. The game's on Sunday. Abada, always good to have a player who's got goals in him. What's the news in signings? Says, well, I'll just let Lanky reply to you because he's stealing all the thunder. Rocco Vata's heading out to Celtic for in the region of about $500,000. I think he's going to Torino, but he might head up at Club Bruges. Paulo Bernardo, he is on his way. It looks like we've done the deal for that. And the Portuguese playmaker is going to do a Jota number 2 and come over from Benfica. Celtic are trying to get Nat Phillips from Liverpool. Looks like that one could go through. The Leeds were trying to get him, but it's the old connection between Brendan and Liverpool that looks like it stole that deal. Phillips is 26. He's looking for a move. He's only played a handful of games for Liverpool last term. His fifth choice at centre back. And he's basically right back in the pecking order when it comes to defenders. You know, if you think about it, they've got Virgil van Dijk, they've got Gomez, Conte, and Matip that they've got in front of him. So it's good the fact that we're probably getting him out. We're getting him out on loan. And I think it'll be a good addition. He's 26. He's got a bit of experience. It's the fact that if he's in training with the likes of big Virgil van Dijk, we all know what Virgil van Dijk was like here when he was training, and we know what he was like as a player. So if he's been training with the likes of Virgil van Dijk, the Huns wanted Phillips and Palmer. Brilliant. I think the Huns now have still got problems. Comment on your live shows. Any advice? Yeah. You have to make sure that he's verified his account, because if he's not verified his YouTube account, he might not be able to comment. I don't know why that is, because if he's getting that he's not a subscriber and he has subscribed, it might be the fact that he's not verified his account. So if it is just if he's never done anything on YouTube before, he might need to confirm his account, confirm his phone number or something. Anyway, Nat Phillips land tonight. Baz, Celtic win Sunday, league's over. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it. If we had won against St Johnstone, and like I fully expected, you know, the fact that we had 75% possession, Lanky probably locked him out. Oh dear. Awata, Kobayashi, Bernabe, Scales, Bain, Sigris, Haksabanovic. They all need to go. Wasa, really? We are all PSV tonight, yes. And there's quite a few of people from Scotland had a trip over there. And they look as if they're enjoying themselves. Plunge all the podcast Baz. He's a good Tim. Yeah, I love it. I don't understand why he's not on this one. I'll need to look into the. I've looked. I need his full um channel name, because I've went into the ones that are all banned and he doesn't seem to be on it. But as I'm telling you, mate, if we win at Ibrox on Sunday, then I'm calling the league. That's I would agree with you with that one if we went 6 points in front. If we went 6 points in front at this stage of the season, it's ours to chuck away. No hands in the night. No, there's not. There's no hands in tonight. Pork chop, love it. I plunge. He's a good lad. Like I said, lads, I've no idea why he can't comment. I'd need to get his full YouTube name to double check and the ones that are all banned. But I've had a look and it's mostly Hun names that are banned. So we're 7 points behind. We are 7 points behind with a much worse squad. Yeah, we were 7 points behind with a much worse squad 2 years ago. A Jetty confirmed left. Yes, he's left for 500,000. We won a watch getting 500 grand from him. The league has won in May. Calm down, says Michael. Let's just hope that they get humped tonight. The Media Lights Museum Eindhoven is cracking. Recommend it. Well, if any of them are there, no, they'll all be getting ready for the game. They'll all be on their way to the game. Baz, only 1 point in front. I know. We're only 1 point in front. And, dropping 2 points was absolutely ridiculous. Haksabanovic has to go so he doesn't disrupt the dressing room. I agree with that also. I said as soon as he came out in public and said what he said, I read from a podcast from Frimpong has been sold to Germany. Been sold on to no, he's going to England. He's not going to Germany. So yeah, we've got a 20% selling clause with him. Just a 4.5 million loss on a Jetty. Yep. But we took a 4.5 million loss on a keeper when we ripped up the keeper's contract and allows him to leave. Tell Nicholson to donate 500 grand for the Jetty sale to charity, mate. Yeah. It was 500 rubles we got for the Jetty. Oh my goodness, these are all on form tonight. Lila Bada contract extension. Big boost for Liverpool star set for medical. Let me just see this. Yep, here we go. Liverpool defender Nat Phillips is set to travel to Glasgow and undergo a medical with Celtic before finally a season. I can't even speak tonight. A season-long loan deal at Celtic. The Liverpool Academy graduate is set to move on what will be his third spell away from the club by joining Brendan Rodgers at Celtic. So it's obviously a player that Brendan knows from his time at Liverpool. He'll know how good he is. The fact that, like I said, if he's been in training with big Virgil van Dijk, it's fantastic for us because you know that he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant in training. Told you, Baz, lol. Told you what, I'm missing it in some of the comments. A Jetty was misunderstood. I feel the touch this plaster spliff. Bring on the zombies. We'll do well against them. Yep, I think we will. I think as long as we get a draw, on Sunday at minimum. But I think we're going to have a few aces up our sleeve the time that the weekend comes. Phillips is probably coming because of Brendan. Yep, let's face it. Yep, and that's it. He's coming because of Brendan. That goes then back to Brendan's comments last weekend. Look, there's no use, and I think that's why the deal fell through for the Brøndby guy, because he was a young, and the way that, we can't knock the way that Celtic financially run the club, right? But bringing in players, we've brought in enough young players, and even Brendan says that now's the time to bring in a couple of experienced players that he knows can help the younger players. You can't go into the Champions League, and especially since we've got injuries with the defenders, and some of the defenders that have came in have been younger as well. So we could really do a player to come in that is a bit older and a bit like Cameron Carter-Vickers, And you never know, they might actually spark up a fantastic thing, But then again, hopefully it gives us a chance to get players back and fit. Hopefully I'm coming in will allow us to just ease people into the game more rather than bringing them back. This episode, Long Chat Family in the chat today. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to keep up with you, but I don't know what is going on. Don't know what is going on the chat. I just need to really concentrate on it. Who's got the spanner on it? Wait a minute to go. Let's see how many. There is 148 thumbs up. Make sure that you smash the thumbs up. I'm skimming through all these comments now. And there is 533 online. The comments are coming in that fast. I can't read them on the actual chat bit. I need to go back to this. Right. Lorna. Hopefully green and white. The boy for Brøndby was 5'8". That's what we really need. Yeah. It was that. Do you think the goalkeeper Benji was brilliant for United? No, I don't, because Dundee United got put down with them in goals. You've got to remember, they were relegated and then they came back up. Should we sign Pierre's son? I'm not too sure about that, because when you think back to Pierre and his time at Celtic, when you think back to the three amigos, they were a bit disruptive, and Pierre has already caused a bit of a storm, and they've basically fell out with the current manager of the young Van Hooijdonk. And that's the reason that they want to sell him on. So if he's anything like his dad, he was a bit of a disruptive person in the dressing room, and it looks like it's rubbing off on his son. So should we bring him in? I'm not too sure on that one. What a free kick he could take. Yeah, Pierre could take the most amazing free kicks. Anytime that we got a free kick, and this was way before Larsson's time, remember? Way before Larsson's time. And the free kicks that Big Pierre could take, I mean, he could curve a ball round the wall. He could curve a ball. Baz, are you live for the Champions League tomorrow? Yes, I am. I've already set the live up. It does go live at 6 o'clock Central European time. I'll go back onto the Champions League site. 6 o'clock Central European time. It'll be 5 o'clock Celtic Park time. So we will go live roughly about the same time. So it'll be 5 o'clock tomorrow. And as the draw is being done, the draw ceremony begins at 6 o'clock. Now, there's always a lot of nonsense that goes on before these things. And then I think they do all the sort of nominations for players for last seasons and stuff, and all awards and that. And then they'll get into the Champions League draw. So then what we'll do, obviously, with the ticker that is up there on the screen, we'll put out the teams that we're getting. And then as soon as it's done, I'm getting off to book flights. So the good thing about staying where I do is there's not going to be a mad rush, because the price of flights won't go up as much for me as they do for all the lads back home. I wanted Larsson's son here now. I thought it was going to happen. What am I drinking? Ribena. You go through about 3 litres of water over here. The good thing is, though, is the temperature has dropped. It's down to 29 degrees now. As soon as it gets to the end of August, it's brilliant. The tourists all bugger off, and the temperature drops to under 30 degrees. It'll probably stay around 30, 31 now for the next month. What time does the Hunskelpen start tonight? 8 o'clock Celtic Park time, I'm sure. Half the demolition on Sunday. First half demolition. Well, here's hoping. A Jetty's Best Goal award in the Champions League ceremony. Belfast is in the house. Perfect. Let's get some more comments. Let's see what else is happening. I'll just click some of these screens down. So it looks like it is. The good thing is, about him coming straight out for Liverpool, he only needs to drive up the road. Doesn't have to get flights or anything. He can come straight up, get his medical. If he gets his medical tonight, if he gets up here tonight, gets his medical first thing in the morning, he could train with the players maybe tomorrow, because let's face it, he would have been training with Liverpool anyway. So I think it's paramount that we do get some of these deals done and dusted and players in, so that they're in, like being a Wild Rover for many. Oh, hats off to that one. Mon PSV. And they'll come at us. So glad Phillips is on it. They will come at us and they will attack us, and it'll be a fast-paced game for the first 20 minutes. And they're going to try and hit an early goal, which should hopefully open them up a bit. And as it opens them up a bit, it'll allow us to hit them on the break. And if we hit them on the break, we've got the speed to beat them. It's as simple as that. We've got the speed to beat them. Can't forgive Pierre for his homeless comment. Left a sore. Yeah, there was a lot of things that Pierre did his time at Celtic, and that's why he had to move on. He reported for training today, but didn't train due to the move. Get him signed today, tonight. 2 days training, we can get him. That's even better then. Yeah, so these things tend to get leaked after they happen. So if he's been told about it this morning, like, you're not training with the team, get yourself up to Glasgow. You're going to do a medical. You probably find the fact that tomorrow could be the day that Celtic make a few announcements. Could be the fact that we do a double announcement tomorrow morning. There's been nothing leaked for Celtic Park. There's obviously been no one in Celtic Park to be able to take pictures for us and release them. Corovo does with their pace up front. We can destroy them on the counter. Yep, and that's hoping that we do. If Maeda gets his Sanis on, well, good news for a change. Yes, it is good news for a change. It's kind of been one of those weeks where we were a bit underwhelmed with the way the transfer window was going, but the manager did say that he wanted experienced players in, and I think that's what's been wrong this week. The recruitment team have had one idea of this player that they want to get in. Any rumours on a left back? Not as such. But anyway, nothing better than converting the Hun. Michael Ross keeping them out with their trick. I would love to hear about the Palma finally signed. Love it. I think tomorrow is going to be the day that Celtic are going to announce things. They will want the players on the training pitch for at least 2 days. Surely they're going to get them. I mean, even if they're training on Saturday, if we can get them training Friday, Saturday, I mean, they might have had a day off today, the players. I'm not too sure. There's a rumour going around for a left back, David's for Ipswich. Yeah, I heard that earlier, but I wasn't too sure about it. But there's too many rumours going around. And the sources it was coming for, I wasn't completely convinced with it. The Van Hooijdonk one, I mean, that seems to be growing arms and legs, especially after his dad, fell out with his current manager. So, but it could be the same. That's just for me, it's just speculation, and it's the exact type of speculation that we don't need, and it's the type of speculation that was going to bring Larsson's son. If young Larsson was going to come to Celtic, Henrik would have made it happen years ago, which tends to think they don't let him do his own thing. And his dad probably says that as well. Look, you don't want to go to Celtic and then have to I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. It's not working. But Sky Sports have just confirmed minutes ago that Phillips to Celtic, so it's a done deal. He must have been on his way up to Glasgow, which means if it's done, he's obviously in Glasgow already, which means is Palma hitchhiking? No, Michael, he was caught up in the air disruption with flights coming into London, and I think that's what's been the delay. He was meant to do a medical in London, so I don't know if he managed to get the flight into London as yet. Non-tical rumours, 3 days to go, and we're still buggering about. Rumours, once they're at this stage, there's only, I mean, the one with the Brøndby one, that was a done deal. It was I got a text saying it was more than confident of it happening. But then it all came to money. And then the fact that he's just younger. So anyway, Henrik roundabout Dunfermline away, loved it. Yep. Can you remember though, Dunfermline away in the year that we won, the year that we stopped to 10, and there's a game at Dunfermline, and Dunfermline scored with about minutes to go, and the home ends behind the goals was full of Celtic fans. The police ended up just putting just a row of police down the middle and letting half the Celtic fans that had bought tickets for it. And that ball that came across, and I'll never remember because I was right in the corner flag, and the header that came across for the Dunfermline player took an absolute. It was like time stopped, and you see the ball coming over for the head. I mean, at that point, Celtic had won the league. Until then, Celtic had won the league, and that ball comes over and drops in right at the post, right inside the post. There was nothing the keeper could have done for it. And we then went on to win the league at Celtic Park the following week. I would have loved to have won it at Dunfermline because Dunfermline was absolutely mobbed with Celtic fans that day. I mean, we took over about 3/4 of the ground. Well, it was just under 3/4 of the ground. Let me see what this is. Oh, no. 2 seconds. What? 2 seconds. I need to reply to this. No idea. Anyway, that's not what we thought it was going to be. Yes, Craig Falconbridge. That name scarred me in the brain. It scarred me in the... Yes. I got food poisoning. At Dunfermline in 2007. In my bed for a week, still raging. Food poisons. I had food poisoning for a baker's once, and I ended up in hospital with Lanky phoning you now. It's like that. Go and tell me so I can post. Fuck up. I love it. No, because he blanks me along. No, I don't, Lanky. Faith of our fathers or holy faith. Yep. And I'm glad I stay in a Catholic country. That's all I can say. Is that the wife, Baz? Not telling you. Anyway, was that Lowell? He's telling me to shut it. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see if we can get some more Celtic news. It's fantastic that it's obviously been confirmed. Let me jump onto this. Wow. There's a shock one for you. Karamoko Dumbelli. You remember that wee guy? He's went to Blackpool. Wow. On loan. Wow. Went to Blackpool on loan. It just shows you that players, it's the tax man. It's not the tax man. See, the good thing about here, Lanky, is you pay your tax every 3 months. You don't pay it once a year. So you pay your tax in Spain the same time you pay your VAT bill. So you pay it every 3 months, which is brilliant. I just give everything to an accountant and he sorts it out. Right, let's get back to that. And I know it's not Celtic news, but Karamoko Dumbelli, he was a young guy. And this is why you always put a warning to young players. Already mentioned it about 20 minutes ago. Didn't fancy the rest in France. Good luck, to be fair. Didn't get a chance. He did get a chance. He just... Ange says he couldn't promise him to play all season. And when you say to a player, look, I don't know how many games you're going to get, and he wanted away. There's another one that wanted away. Just the exact same as Rocco Vata. Rocco Vata wants to play first team football. And the manager said, look, I don't think you're going to get first team football this season. We might put you on loan to get first team football. And he went, nah, I'm not signing a new deal. So Celtic have now taken in 500,000 for him. And that's good that we're getting that money in. It's probably peanuts in the grand scale of things. Rocco Vata might go on to become a fantastic player, but you never know. He might end up at Blackpool on loan. I blame the fathers. Well, they're obviously no Catholic. Can you say that? Why doesn't a Celtic State of Mind use regulars to cleanse their chat? I think they do. I nipped on there, they do. Yeah, I think they do. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's just a laughing face. Anyway, what happened? I have no idea. Baz, what the spanners net comes up in air about? Is it Lanky? And another name's available. They're the ones that basically kill. They're moderators on the channel to cut out any Hunt comments, and basically they can go on and they can ban zombies straight away. So if you want one, I can give you it if you like. That's all the spanners. God, how could you read that chat? It's going at like 100 miles an hour. I'm lucky I've got it on this. Oh, there you go. Greg Bailey. There's one sneaks. The thing is, they've got to subscribe. Greg just spent 5 minutes of his life subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the channel to wait 5 minutes to then comment. Anyway, block them. They're in meltdown. Yep, it's all right. I blocked them already. I was straight on it. Anyway, unlike them tonight. Did you miss your flight? Did you miss your flight to Holland? Greg Bailey, did you miss your flight? Yep. I'd love to block them. Yeah, you can. You can actually go on and block them. Another 100. Yep. And report them as well. Obsessed toothless zombies. Look at young Ben Doak. Yeah, he wanted away from Celtic though, and Celtic wouldn't play him, which is unfortunate. And this is what we were talking about, John. There was a live that we did the other morning, and the live was actually called "How Would the 2003 team compare to the current squad and social media?" So what we did with that one, we looked at Martin O'Neill's team. Go back and watch it. I'll see if I can get the link to it actually, and then I'll post it on here. Give me 2 seconds. So once you've finished watching this one, if you've got half an hour, because I'm not going to stay on too long. It's 7 o'clock. Lives. It was a live. Right, here it is. I need to go on. Give me 2 seconds, and then I'll get a copy of it, and then I'll pin it. On that, watch live, click, copy, come on, back there. Right, I'm going to post this live that we did the other day. Right, and then I'm going to, where is it? I'm going to pin the comment. So if you've got, can't chat. What? What is it doing? I'm not trying to chat. I'm trying to pin the comment. Stupid. Why is it not pinning it? I need to go on. Oh, this isn't working. It's not working well tonight. Right, let me try it on this. Do that. Do that. And then try and pin it. It's going too fast. Pin message. There we go. It's done. Right. I've just pinned the YouTube live finally to Explosive Alan. People are struggled against Greenock Morton. Right. I have just pinned that live. So if you want to go and watch it after this, it is only a half hour live, and it shows you that I go through the exact ages of the Martin O'Neill team in 2003, the exact ages and the full squad. And it's amazing how many young players we had in 2003. Crazy lanky. Hail. Got to go out, says Sean Boy. I'm not hanging around about much longer. We've got hanging about for 7 minutes. People are starting to drop off. It shows you how many folk are away to watch that other lot. Can't for you, Daniel Romey. Right, let's get some Celtic news. What he said about O'Reilly. So, Fabrizio Romano said he understands that Leeds are discussing internally about Matt O'Reilly, who was once described as incredible by Southampton boss Martin Russell. Oh, he expects Leeds to put in a final offer. It'll get rejected. It will get rejected. For new deal, a bad new deal. It's updating that. I think the big one tonight on players going out and getting any money for is Rocco Vata. That's probably the big one tonight. Everything else, it's been on the fire for apart from obviously Nat Phillips from Liverpool, and seemingly that's been confirmed by Sky. So that looks as if he's been basically drove up the road today from Liverpool. So we're going to get a defender in, which is good news. We're going to get a defender in. What is that starred? Oh, that's that one. Right. Lanky's like a buckled spanner. No, Ali's like a lanky spanner. I'm buckled. South Koreans concede a lot of set pieces tonight. I think it'll be penalty bingo. Penalty bingo. Leeds can go and do one. Yep, Leeds can go do one because we're not going to sell anyone first team. We're not going to sell at this late in the game, the transfer window. We will not sell any players now. I think the ones that do come in, there's going to be a couple of loans and obviously Palmer. Hail from Banky. Right. There's nothing else kicking around. The big news is Liverpool player Nat Phillips heads to Celtic. Paulo Bernardo, it looks like that one is going through as well. We're taking him on loan with an option to buy. Rocco Vata's out the door. And Rodgers looks like he might have got his man in Nat Phillips. Got to remember, Phillips is 26. So he does have a bit of experience. And the fact that, for me, what if he's training with Conte and Virgil van Dijk? You know, if you're bringing somebody in that's training with them on an ongoing basis, you know, I think it's going to be good for us. So it might not be all that bad this weekend. Dombele in the North of Africa. What position does Bernardo play? He plays holding midfield player, which should, is Palmer still in Mallorca? That's hilarious. Midfield. He's so that should allow Callum McGregor to move forward a little bit. Benfica guy is an option to buy. It looks like he's got an option to buy. Looks like we're trying to do the same type of deal as we did with Jota, but I don't know if it will be a season-long loan then option to buy. The thing is when you bring in players on option to buy, you know, as long as it's not an obligation to buy. If it's an obligation to buy, like what we did with a certain Japanese player, you know, that's a different kettle of fish because we brought in a Wata and it was an obligation to buy him. It was an absolute obligation to buy. But if we bring them in with the option to buy, it's like get them in and see how good they're. Lanky's saying, right, good. Lanky's out. He's out of the building. And to be fair, I'm off too because I'm away to go to the boozer because that's where the missus is. She's at the pub. She was going to the shops. She's away at a tapas bar. How dare she? Right, I hope you've had a fantastic evening. Let me just check the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on your way out. If you are leaving, there's 223 thumbs up. If you're still watching this, make sure you get it to 250. Let's try and smash the 300 likes on the video. Still 452 watching as we go. We've been on for 58 minutes. Awata couldn't hit water if he fell out the boat, says John. That's a bit harsh, John. God bless everyone. He's off making a video, Baz. It's probably, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. And on that note, stay safe, everyone. Make sure you give the video a Lorna, you're going to get the last one. Let's play these zombies get pumped tonight. I'm sick of listening to that roll on Sunday. I fancy us for a win. Cheers, Baz, and everyone. Good night. What is a baller? Oh my dude, do a reaction video to them. It's no, because the studio light that I had is broken and I'm waiting on a new one coming from Amazon and it's not here yet. Although that would be a funny video to do. It would be a funny video to do. I might actually, with that being said, I might start another one where we actually watch some games, some European games, because that would be an interesting to do. Wouldn't do it on the Celtic channel, but there is another channel that I can do it on. So, with that being said, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around the world, and I shall see you first thing tomorrow morning. Remember, we will be going live at 5 p.m. Celtic part time tomorrow night for the draw. So, as Celtic get put into the pot and the team teams that we get drawn with they'll already be in the pot. So it'll be a case of waiting to see exactly what pot we get put into, because we're pot 4. So we'll either come out really quick or we'll come out last. Anyway, you never know. On that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the